Happy January 2nd. This is Wendy Lou with Parenting Through Ascension. If you're watching me on Higher Self, I encourage you to go find my channel and check out my other videos. If this one resonates, maybe some other ones will too. I've just been out and about all morning, and my kids are at a music camp for the next 3 days, and I've been trying to find stuff to do. You know, everything involves spending money, so it's hard. But and it was cold this morning, but I may go take a little walk here in a little bit. But I'm no kidding, sitting in the Hobby Lobby parking lot, but I don't know that I'll go in. It's an option. It's always an option. But I did some shopping and some errands, and now I'm just kind of waiting to pick them up. But one of the things I want to do for 2019 is, whenever possible, stop and do a video when I'm feeling it, right? When I feel, or when I get a topic come in, or when I think, oh, that's a good topic for a video. I want to be able to just stop and do it. And so I'm like, I'm sitting in the Hobby Lobby parking lot, why not? And the one thing that was coming to my mind this morning quite a bit, because I dropped the kids off, and at 9 o'clock, there's nothing open really. I wanted to go to the mall for specific reasons, and they don't open till 10. And so I was there early, and you know, most malls, they open early for walkers. You can go in and you can walk inside, and our mall is a half a mile. You do the perimeter once, and it's about a half a mile. And so I went and walked, because it was about 12 degrees outside. I'm like, well, I'll just go walk inside the mall. And I hardly ever go to the mall anymore. We do a lot of online shopping, and we just have kind of gotten rid of a lot of the fluff in our lives. I don't spend my money on, you know, Bath and Body Works, and you know, all that crap. Most of it's toxic, so just FYI. I just don't go to the mall for any reason anymore. The only reason we ever go anymore is when the kids need clothes and shoes, and that's 2-3 times a year. And then I usually don't enjoy it. But I was there this morning, and before any of the stores were open, and it was so quiet, and it was just me and you know, the security guys. They were taking down Christmas decorations, and a couple of other people walking, some couples and stuff, and it was really nice. And even though the stores were all closed, I found myself window shopping as I'm walking, right? I'm looking at all the windows, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's sensory overload, right? There's so much. And you know, I found myself actually thinking a few times, oh, I need that. I didn't need that. I don't remember what it was. I didn't need it. But you know, you see pretty stuff, and I'm so not used to it anymore, because I never go there. And I thought it was funny. But one of the things that I happened to see was, you know, one of the little kiosks had like candles and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I should look at the candles. You know, for like, I like to use candles when I meditate and stuff. And I immediately got, and it wasn't me like trying to talk myself out of it, I immediately got like a message come in that said, you don't need that anymore. And I thought, you know, that's a good topic for a video. So here I am. And what I mean by that is, so when I first started to wake up, of course I was a mess, had no idea who to turn to, where to go, what to do. I literally curled up in a ball and went to bed for 2 weeks and didn't eat, and actually didn't even sleep, even though I was in my bed for about 2 weeks. And just kind of tried to, you know, waste away. But it just doesn't work that way. But as I started to build myself back up, because that was kind of the reset, right? Like, if you've gone through a grand awakening, you know, I used to call it my breakdown, and now I say awakening because it really was. And I'll be honest, it took me a while to be truly grateful for that experience. Do I wish it hadn't been so intense and such a time of suffering? Sure, in a way, but you know, it's easy to go, no, it was fine now that it's over, right? You know, I don't know that I could have handled it any other way. I handled it the best way that I could, and I got through. I'm here I am. And so, but as I started to build myself back up, and people, you know, once you start waking up, the universe will put people in your path. And if you continue to ignore them, then he will have them, basically knock you over until you start paying attention. And so he started to put people in my he, that's an old Catholic belief, right? God is gender neutral and gender everything, right? So Mother God, Father God, started to put people in my path, and so I started to build myself back up with help. I had a lot of help, thank God. And so I was introduced to tools, one tool after another, right? Essential oils was actually the first tool I was introduced to, and then nutrition was the second tool. And those are nutrition obviously is very important. Y'all, we're not getting away from having physical bodies just yet, okay? And I know there are people out there talking about, oh, it doesn't matter. I've got a friend who constantly says, oh, it doesn't matter what you eat, really, if you've truly transcended and ascended past that. It doesn't matter. Sure, there are, what they say. She was talking about some Tibetan monks who intentionally drank cyanide or poison of some sort to prove that if you just were high vibe enough and had the intention that it wasn't going to affect you, that it wouldn't affect you. There may be 2 people on the planet at any given time who are that ascended, okay? That he was not in even 5D, I guarantee you. Barely holding on to a physical body, probably, because the rest of us are just not going to be there. It's stupid to drink poison just to try and prove a point. But I have a friend who will cite that, and I'm like, but most of humanity, that's not where we're at anytime soon. We've got some thousands of years before that, is where we're at, and then we won't be drinking poison. I don't even know what that story is about, but sure, I absolutely believe that there are people who can do that. But why would you put crap, non-food, poison, toxins into your body? Why? We're not, like I said, we need these physical bodies. So anyway, nutrition, obviously, it's a tool, but it's necessary, really. It is absolutely necessary. But I want to talk about the tools in this video. So we're going to push that one aside, because that's like survival. We need food. You may be finding, if you're, semi-aligned with my journey, as far as how far I've come, that you're needing very different foods and needing a lot less. And that's pretty cool. In fact, I went shopping this morning and was pleasantly surprised at the size that I was able to buy in clothes for myself. I needed clothes so bad everything was just falling off of me, just because my taste buds have completely changed. My cravings have completely changed, and I don't eat near the quantity that I used to, and I'm completely satisfied. I don't feel deprived. It's amazing. So anyway, the tools. I'll do a video on that. So I was introduced to essential oils. I was introduced to meditating, crystals, stones, rocks, candles, Reiki, the raindrop therapy, which is another essential oils tool, just energy work in general, all these amazing tools. Now, energy work is not just a tool either. That's kind of a whole another category. But what I was thinking this morning is that as you build yourself back up, as you grow, as you release all this stuff, as you expand, as your consciousness is expanding, as we embody more of our souls, you may find that a lot of the tools that you used to rely on, that you used to depend on, that you used to need, you thought you needed, you aren't even really pulled to anymore. I used to, I went through a period where I was practically drinking the essential oils, trying to get out of this intense anxious, depressive state, right? And of course, it made a huge difference. Essential oils are freaking magical, y'all. But what they do is they give your body what it needs to purge what it needs to purge. And so when you use it, a lot of times you may feel worse, because it's then pushing your body to get rid of these toxins, because that's their job. That's essential oil's job, is to rid your body of toxins. And so if you have a very toxic body and you just start using essential oils, then it may suck for a while when you first start using the oils, and it's pushing your body to the limits, basically. And I was practically drinking oils. I get people pulling up next to me going, what the hell who's she talking to? Just on my phone. It's not that big of a deal. And at the Hobby Lobby working. And so essential oils was huge for me for a long time, but I was drowning my body in them for a little while, desperate, for to feel better. And if you can relate to that, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you're there right now. Honestly, do what you need to do to get through. Okay. And just know that that it is getting better. It's the worse you feel, the more you're purging. And so if you can just try to find a place of gratitude and allow self-care, self-love, and just continually, switch your mindset to thinking gratitude, 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 gratitude. I cannot stress that enough. And so all these tools that and then I went through a period where, okay, so I finally, after years and years of trying, I have learned to truly meditate. And, I used to think you have to quiet your mind, and I could never quiet my mind. And then I would have ego come in, or even like, foreign energies in my energy, floating by that I thought, were part of me, that would freak me the hell out. And so I stopped meditating. But I did finally move past that, and I can meditate. Now I could meditate right now. You want me to meditate? No. But I can meditate anywhere now. All you need is 30 seconds, really. 3 deep breaths, and that's meditating. And so that was another tool. Now I don't know that I think eventually we kind of get into this state where it's not so much meditating as it is, we're always connected. And I'm just going to connect real fast, and I'm going to connect a little deeper and release this thing that I'm feeling or whatever. And it's going to be second nature. It's going to be instinctual. It's going to be easy peasy. So it won't necessarily, it might even, need a new, it wouldn't even need to have a name, because it's just going to be our natural state. So meditation is important right now for us to try and rise above, the last vestige of the 3D that we're shedding right now. And then, and like crystals and everything. And I love stones. I walk. If you watch my other videos, you know that I walk every day. I do most of my videos on my walk, with my goofy stocking caps on. But I walk, and I frequently will bring some rocks home and add them to my collection. I love them. I absolutely love them. But I don't need them anymore. Like I used to. Okay, I was anxious, so I was looking up every stone I could for anxiety, and I was buying every single one. And that's great. Again, that's great. If that's where you are, embrace it. Embrace it. Buy the stones. They're wonderful. They're beautiful. They're a beautiful tool. Oracle cards are another thing. Oracle cards, angel cards, tarot cards. Those are all wonderful tools to help us grow, to give us guidance, to help us, kind of grasp what the next step is maybe on our journey, or just for hope. Just to give us hope that everything is going as planned, that everything is happening for us and not to us, that kind of thing. But again, I went through a period where I was like, I don't really, I'm like, maybe I'll pull a card. And then I was like, no, like I'd get the message. No, not right now. It's just not, I go kind of through phases. Now, I love Oracle cards, and I don't see ever getting rid of them. But now it's just more of a fun, kind of entertaining type thing. Now I still, truly connect and legitimately, connect to the divine, and will do readings. Sometimes it's just fun to have those pictures, the beautiful artwork, the messages on them. But I don't need them anymore to do energy readings. No, in fact, I can't not do, I can't not read people's energies now. I try not to. I don't intrude. I promise. I don't intrude into people's energies. But when they're shooting stuff out there, when they have no boundaries, I get stuff without even trying. That's why going to the mall is not, it's not something I do just for fun anymore, especially when it's a busy time. By the time I left there, let me tell you, I was like, I got to get out of here. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do some more shopping. Nope, people were everywhere, and that was all I needed to know, because they're all people with the majority of humanity still doesn't understand boundaries, and it's just all out there, and so and I see it all. And so it's too much for me usually. But I can only there are very few people that I've actually felt like, hey, I could touch her on the shoulder and just tell her that I just, I see this and I just got this message for her. And I've done that. And every time I've done that, 3 times maybe in my life. But all three times they were grateful, and they were, I mean, they were kind of taken aback, and maybe they like recoiled a little bit because I'm a toucher. I apologize, and I don't apologize. I need physical human touch. I'm a hugger. I love to touch, other human beings. And so a stranger, if a woman in front of me in line, if her tag's sticking up, ladies, is that not like one of the worst things? Like, we want the whole world to see what size we're wearing? No, we do not. And so I will always, sometimes I'll, touch her shoulder, say, I'm just going to tuck your tag in. But I have been known to just tuck the tag in. And a few times they didn't even notice. They just kept walking. Whatever. I saved them from, whatever, undue embarrassment, which is silly. But I also know what it's like, to walk around with your tag up, and, and we just don't, that's something that women strive to never have that happen. And so I will do that if you're in front of me, even if I don't know you, I will put your tag down, I promise. Or I will tell you have something in your teeth. I promise, I will tell you. Just promise you do the same thing for me. And so the point of this video, besides me watching all these people come out with the beautiful things from Hobby, I was going to go in and just look at some yarn, and as my husband can attest, that's just dangerous. Well, I'm just going to get 2 skeins of yarn, 10 skeins later. Anyway, I'm probably not even going to go in because I have to, I am going to go get my kids here in a few minutes. But the point of this video then is about the tools. You will find that you kind of phase in and out of craving them, of needing them. And so one thing I have noticed, and actually my friend Kierra kind of confirmed for me, well, she kind of confirmed. I was leery of my pendulum. I actually have 2 pendulums. And the first pendulum that I had bought, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a, I forget now, snow quartz, smoky quartz. I forget which one it is. But it was my first pendulum, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And it all of a sudden started to fuck with me. Like, does anybody have that? Like, I would be completely connected and in tune, and I knew I was grounded and everything. And I knew my pendulum was lying to me. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? And so I had mentioned this to my friend Kierra K. King. Kierra K. King, if you do not follow her on YouTube, that's what her channel is, literally called Kierra K. King, I believe. If it's something different, I'll link it in this video below. But she's amazing. She's an amazing awakened goddess, guide, teacher, fabulous. I took my Reiki certification from her. We've known each other for a couple years now, and she's a beautiful, beautiful soul, beautiful human being. Her videos are amazing. If you want to know kind of the big picture, planetary-wide and galaxy-wide of what's happening in the energy, that's kind of her thing. And so, but she also does individual, energy work and stuff too. So she's incredible. Kierra K. King. Find her because she's wonderful. Subscribe to her channel. And so she had said when we were doing our Reiki class, she had said, "Oh, I have found that the pendulums are no longer reliable." And I thought, like, that's exactly what I had found. And I was like, yeah, my pendulum is just not reacting the way it should be. And I think maybe it's part of our, like, rocks and stones are wonderful, cards, all these other tools, wonderful. Maybe the pendulum is something that's going to kind of fall away. Because for me anyway, for a while, it was a crutch. Like, I couldn't decide what to have for lunch without, once I discovered the pendulum. And it actually, my husband became a believer when he had lost something, and the pendulum, no kidding, found it. And he looked like he'd just seen a ghost when that whole thing happened. And so he became a believer. And so we were using it, we were relying on it a lot for all of these decisions, that we needed to make in our lives. And it became a crutch for a while. And so when it started to lie to me, I'd put it down. And actually I had bought another one, and I actually just took that. I cleared it. I set it out in the sun with an intention. I cleared it. I smudged it. I did all these things. Had a little ceremony to clear it of everything that was in it, this new one, because it's a beautiful stone, a beautiful, adornment. And so I actually I cleared it and I cut the little chain off, and I wear it as a necklace now, just as a beautiful healing stone. So it's no longer a pendulum. But it really was true that my pendulum had become unreliable, and I'm not really sure why. And it may be true for you that maybe, that maybe stones will no longer be necessary for your journey. It's all going to be individual. I can't imagine stones. Stones in general are magical, healing, but maybe that whole, I don't know, there's something to do with the pendulum that maybe just needs to shift. But for me personally, I'm not saying this is across the board. I'm not predicting that pendulums are evil. Pendulums are not evil. I'm not predicting that we won't need pendulums anymore in any way. I'm just saying for me, I'm not pulled to a pendulum anymore. I am still very much pulled to other things. I don't drink essential oils like I did out of desperation. Now I use them to enhance my, my consciousness expanding, to enhance my vibrant health, to, all these other things, to improve, on the physical and the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Essential oils touch every energy body. I promise you, they're magical. So anyway, tools. Yeah, you'll find that you'll go in and out of needing them, and that's great. That is part of this journey. And even if you're, like I was actually kind of bummed because I had about 10 decks of Oracle cards and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't for 6 months maybe. I just was not feeling it. And then I talked to a friend and she said, yeah, I've not been feeling like pulling cards lately. I'm like, me either. And so you'll find that not only are you in sync with a lot of people probably who are on, in the same kind of large awakening group that you might be in, but you'll find that everybody will say the same thing. Oh yeah, I went through a phase where I didn't really feel pulled to cards, and now I'm back to the cards, and but less out of desperation. Like I used to pull a card for myself every day out of desperation because I needed a message. I needed to know that I was doing all the right things. That's just where I was at, and that's great. That's wonderful to be in that place. Embrace wherever you're at. Okay, embrace wherever you're at and just know that you're being pushed. You're being pushed and pulled, and you just, allow as much as you can. Don't fight it. And just kind of let the tools come and go as you feel intuitively, what should be part of your journey. And again, you might come back to them just for, because they're beautiful, and because, the cards and the stones and the oils, all of that is just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I love it all. And now it's just more of like the cherry on the cake, right? Now it's more of well, I'm in a great place. Let's have a little fun. Let's get the cards out, right? And just pull cards. Even though it is obviously still true, truly divine messages, it's not out of desperation. So I hope I hope I found my way to a point there at some part of the video. But anyway, I just like to ramble. So I just wanted to share that. That was something that was floating in my head, and it's about time for me to go get the kids anyway, which is perfect. And so I will share this. Again, I'm Wendy Lou. My daddy calls me Lulu Bells. Wendy Lou with Parenting Through Ascension. And again, if you're watching me on Higher Self, first of all, I thank Dawn and company at Higher Self for picking up my videos. I love that. It's such a great broad audience. It's fabulous. But please, if this resonates at all, find my channel and check out my other videos. If you like them, please subscribe, like, share. You may have some friends that may resonate with them as well. So thank you for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye.